Hello, everybody. My name is Benny, and welcome to The Fool's Apprentice. Today, I have another special guest for my tarot chat, which is Miss Papez, Peggy Papez. How are you doing today?
I am good.
Did you hear how I just aged you, Miss Papez?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
it actually should have been Mrs.
It should have been Mrs. Yeah. No, you can age me. It's fine. I'm turning 60 this year, so it's fine.
What?
Yeah, I turned 60 this
Really?
year. Yeah, I get to be officially old and get away with all the things now. It'll be great.
Oh my God, I would have never guessed. I'm going to be turning
Nobody ever guesses.
55 in June, so 60. Are you going
Yeah.
to do anything big?
I don't know. We might be buying me a tattoo.
Do you have any tattoos?
Yeah, I've got where is it? I've got one there. I've got
Okay.
one there. I've
All
got
right.
one there, and I've got one I won't show you.
Okay.
Well, it's just on my thigh, but I have to take off my pants, and we don't want to go there. We just
Okay.
really don't want to go there
We'll
today.
skip it this time.
If I'm wearing shorts, I can pull the shorts up. It's not that intimate, but yeah, I've got
Any
another
any
little
idea
pride
what
triangle down there.
any idea what the kind of tattoo that you might get?
We've already decided on a dragon
Oh, okay.
and a unicorn.
Oh, and a unicorn.
Lisa is off camera going,
I know.
tell me about the
Oh my
unicorn. She's like,
God. Can you imagine a dragon flying by a unicorn with its fire going right at it?
no, it's going to be the opposite. Actually, it's going to be a dragon, and then the unicorn being protected under the wing.
Oh, that
Because
is
that's
so
kind of
sweet. Oh my
that's pretty
God.
stereotypical of our dynamic to
Y'all are
begin with.
so
So it's like,
couple. It's
yeah, we're just deciding now. We're deciding now whether or not we want to put the time and energy into something custom or just use something that's cookie cutter because dragons are everywhere in the tattoo world. So, but we're not in a rush. It'll be fine.
oh, I would do something custom. Make it very
Mm,
unique to you and Peggy.
that's yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. Like, I mean, Lisa wants something custom. I want something custom, but it's like it might not be worthwhile to just put that much energy into it, but it's always that thing. You start a new project, doesn't matter what it is. We've decided on the tattoo. Now the project is sorting out we've decided this is what we want. Now the project is figuring out the details. And so what do? You overthink from the beginning
Oh
and then
yeah.
you sort out so we're still at the overthink stage. We're still
Okay.
there. Yeah, so it's like this is the part where it's still fun. So it's fine. It is what it is, but that's the goal. The goal is to have this on my forearm, do the stereotype, have it down there, have a nice I'm self-employed and work from home. I don't have to worry about what
Uh,
my boss is gonna think.
mm-hmm.
I am the boss. So yeah, we're gonna that's the goal. That's the plan. We'll see how that goes.
Well, how very
Yep.
exciting.
Yeah, do you have tattoos?
I have tons of them. Yeah, I have let me see
Oh,
if
nice.
let me see. I have this one on my arm. Then
Okay.
a Buddha outlined with I'm trying to get used to this card. Then I have the crucifix of Jesus,
Yeah, the lotus.
my Marine Corps tattoo when I got it when I was 18.
Oh, yep.
Then I got a robot, a spaceship, some stars. This moon is from the
Uh,
Mexican bingo.
okay, yeah, it looks familiar.
The Mexican bingo. Then I got another
Okay.
rocket ship, and then a tattoo that I need to fix up.
That this one here,
Uh-huh.
it's a fire water yin yang, and it
Yeah.
started off as just a little tiny yin yang that I got it expanded on to fix it.
Yeah, I
So
need to color this one up a little bit. I gotta
yeah,
add a couple more things, and I think I'm pretty much done.
yeah. This is going to be my last. Well, I don't know if it's going to be my last one. I haven't decided yet, but it's like I just want it. That's the big. That's going to be the big thing. That's the big project for me. But
Okay.
that's okay.
Dinner with friends, family, things like that.
We always keep my birthday's in December.
Oh, so
Like
you got a while.
just well, my birthday is so close to Christmas that it really doesn't mean a lot to me
Mhm.
usually. So we get together, we have a little dinner, and we keep it low key, and then we go off and spend all of our time and energy on Christmas. So it's fine. But I mean, growing up, my sister's birthday is in December, and so was my father's.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So, yeah, birthdays was a pretty low-key event, has always been low. Lisa gets like, "We need to do something, we need to do something," and it's like, "Yeah, we need to do Christmas shopping, leave me alone." This is probably the first time I've like, "Let's do this thing, and let's do it for my birthday."
Good.
This will probably be the biggest thing I've ever done for a birthday, which I'm looking forward to.
I think that's awesome. 60 is a big deal, a huge deal.
I don't know. I mean, I still feel like I'm 12 half the time. I really do.
Yeah, it's interesting. My mind, when I wake up in the morning, I'm 23. I stand
Absolutely.
up and all of a sudden I'm 54 all over again.
Yeah. I get up in the morning, it's like, "Yeah," and then that creak, creak, creak. "Oh, right, okay." So, physically, I'm older, but
Yeah.
no, I'm still as juvenile as I ever was. It's fine. It
Well,
is
you,
what it
you
is.
live a very young life.
I think I do. I think I do. It's been fine. It's fun. So that's all right.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about the nightmare yesterday, coordinating everything
Uh-oh.
with you and everybody else. So, um, I booked two people for yesterday
Okay.
in my brain. You and Donna from North Star Tarot.
Okay.
But and then you was at noon and she was at 3. I forgot to ask time zones.
Uh-oh.
You're Pacific,
Uh-oh.
she's Eastern, I'm Central.
Right. Okay.
So yesterday I was on the computer waiting for you. That's why you were getting all those messages. And
Yeah.
the time came and I'm like, why isn't she here? And then I figured out the time. So I contacted Donna. Hey, Donna, can we push this out? She's like, of course. And I'm waiting for you. And I'm like, something's wrong. So go to our chat and I'm like, oh my God, it's tomorrow.
Oh
So then I had
no.
to contact Donna. Hey, Donna, can you actually meet at the original time? So,
Yeah, been there, done that, but I won't admit it. I won't admit it, but I've
uh,
been there, done that. No, I even for this, I was like, Lisa had to remind me, "No, no, it's Sunday. No, no, it's Sunday." Like
I
2
don't
or
know.
3 times.
I don't know why I had it in my head that it was Saturday. It clearly says April 7th.
Yeah, no, I you know what? Okay, since I work from home, I can get up and go I'm work my way all through Tuesday until Lisa comes home and says, honey, it's Thursday."
Oh,
Yeah, because I work whenever it's convenient. I don't give myself set hours. It just
hmm,
doesn't when you're semi-retired, it's like, "No, no, no. I will do this evening, I will do this tomorrow morning, I will do this, I will do this on the weekend," and then all of a sudden, you're just getting completely yeah, I do it all the time, and I just don't care anymore, and it's fine.
very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, when something important has to happen, "Hey, honey, make sure I don't forget this." Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I don't
the way it
have
goes.
that. I have calendars and I write notes and everything I need to do.
I would
But
do that if it was just me, but it's not, and I have I have my personal secretary over there.
very nice.
I keep going like this because she's right over there.
Yeah.
I just so I'm
Is
gonna
she playing the
talk to him and
game?
point at her. Pardon me?
Is she playing the game?
I'm not sure what she's doing. What's she doing? Oh,
Business.
you telling the truth? Oh, she's just writing some emails.
Okay. So,
She's not yelling at anything yet, so she's not playing her game.
so you have a channel. You have your own
I
channel.
have about 4 channels right
You have
now.
4 channels. Okay. So introduce yourself. Introduce yourself. Talk about, name your channels, what each channel's for, if you don't mind. Uh,
Well, okay, I'm Peggy.
hey, Peggy.
I I am the wife of Lisa Papez, so that's kind of where people in tarot land know me from.
Hmm.
I fiddled around with my own baby tarot channel for a while,
Yeah.
just to see what I think of it, and I don't d I had my fun, and it's like, it started to feel like work almost immediately.
Oh,
So that's just kinda well, because I also show up on Shenanigans with Lisa, I show
yeah.
up on Self-Worth Saturday with her and for her membership, I show up on other things regularly with her,
Hmm.
so it's like, I don't need it was fun to play with, but so and then I have an Etsy channel talking about, how to run an Etsy shop, different things,
Oh,
and that's that's a limited topic base. So I put everything that was important to me on the channel, and now it just enjoys its life on its own. It's out of the nest now, and off it went. And so what I have right now is actually a sewing. It's a sewing slash metaphysics channel.
Okay. And
I
how long have
started.
you had that channel for?
That's the channel that I've had for probably a couple of years now.
Okay.
I just mess around. If I think of a sewing project, I'll go online, I'll show it, that sort of thing. If I think of a topic that sounds like so every Friday we pick a topic, ghosts, UFOs, conspiracy theories, whatever. Like we've done one recently on Edgar Casey. He's like one of the most famous psychics that ever lived, that sort of thing. That's Friday. Friday we pick a topic, and the rest of the time I just show up whenever doing whatever, and we just relax, chat, and it's a nice little baby channel, and I kind of like it that way. So that's where my energy is right now, and that's the one that I've settled on as the favorite, the winner. That's the winner of the channels I was messing around with.
So I didn't know about that channel. So what kind of sparked the idea to do that particular channel with your Fridays?
Well, what happened with that channel? It's called Peggy Sews. That channel, it's like people, oh, what kind of stuff are you working on? Blah blah blah, and we have all the equipment, so it
Okay.
makes it. We have all the equipment because of Lisa, so it made it really really easy.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we realized is that what the channel turned into is just a lot of live streams and hanging out. And so in the course of just chatting back and forth, I'm just sewing up some stuff. It's like, oh, we should pick topics and talk about them. And it's like, well, if we're going to do that, let's make that the one thing I schedule.
Okay.
Let's make that the one thing that I commit to and schedule. And then everything else, if I want to show up and do tarot readings, I can. The channel. So basically, the channel has evolved. So it's called Peggy Sews because I just don't want to change the name. But if you might show up, you might show. I still have to come back in and do some live readings. I haven't done that yet on the channel, but so whatever I happen to be thinking of that day, hey, let's talk about this while I get some stuff done, or let's Friday is dedicated. I don't sew on those days, but the rest of the time I'm busy sewing. That's what got in the way of me trying to do anything else. It's like I've got sewing to do. If I take the time away from that to do something else, I won't get this done. And anybody who's got, as much as I'm self-employed, I still have certain things I have to get done in a week.
Yeah.
So anybody who's got a day job knows exactly, how do you find the time? How do you do this? Well, I just sew while I talk about the things. Let's just sew and talk about this today. Let's just sew and talk about that today. So it was just this bizarre little evolution. And so yeah, so in the course of chatting about general stuff, we decided that we as my little itty bitty group of people decided that Friday was topic day.
Okay.
So
And
yeah.
do you have like a list of topics or it's whatever comes up that week for you?
If something comes up that week, then we'll talk about it. Otherwise, I do kind of keep a little mini list of topics,
Mm-hmm.
and so if we don't collectively, because like I said, it's a little baby group. There's maybe at best like 10 people in a chat. It kind of makes it a lot of fun because you can get interactive in a different way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, like when Lisa goes live, there can be up to 200 people in the chat, which is awesome and fun,
But it's a
but
lot.
it changes the dynamic. So a smaller audience, if somebody says something, you're gonna notice it. You can go, oh hey, let's talk. You can engage and get more information on that. And
Yeah.
the size of the chat is actually just perfect for me right now. So it's been fun. But yeah, it was just I it was what I'm kind of thinking about how it evolved for the first time. Like now, it just happened, and I'm like, yeah, let's just go with that. It's fine. It's okay. This is fun. Let's do it.
And that's the thing. Like when I started my channel, it really was about showing people what my process in learning the tarot was, but it has
Yeah.
evolved into this community-based uh,
Yes.
thing that I want to do where I try to get as many people to collaborate, come on, do these chats. I'm doing
Yeah.
the study with Kelsey, so it's interesting how things, and they just happen. It's just where
Yeah.
it just takes you.
But that's the best way. That
Yeah.
is the best way because I've seen so many people that are, "I'm gonna start a tarot channel. I'm gonna start a channel or a tarot channel," and I don't wanna call it try hard, but I can't think of a better word. But it's like, "I'm going to do this. I'm going to," and they make themselves miserable right away.
Mm,
I'm not sure what wording to put to it, um, because you see what other people are doing and go, "Well, that's the best way to do it, so I'm gonna do it," and then
yeah.
they don't let themselves shine through, right? So you don't relax the same way, you don't enjoy it the same way, you burn out really. This is why people with baby channels can burn out and be I'm really I've only got 200 subscribers and I'm burning out and I don't understand. Turn on the camera, be yourself, see how it changes
Yeah.
immediately.
Well,
That's what I ended up.
that's what I was telling Lisa. Is one of the grateful things I liked about the channel with her and you is you are very authentic. Like your relationship is very open. You're very comfortable with each other.
Aw, thank you.
And I will tell you because when I first started, I'm very open. I'm an open gay man. I live my life as an open gay man. If you're not going to hire me because of it, then I don't need to be there. You know, if
Oh, absolutely.
you don't want to be my friend, well, that's fine. You don't have to be my friend. But there was something different about being on the internet. I just felt more vulnerable. And
Yep,
um, I was trying to find a balance of not changing my behavior because I am who I am, but not necessarily being open as a gay person. Uh,
yeah,
Watching you and Lisa, it just opened me up to be, not to even have that thought anymore, not to have that background filter to happen
yep,
anymore. So that was a really, really wonderful moment for me that kind of all of a sudden allowed me to like take a deep breath and let it go. And then all of a sudden, other things started to follow in the way I was doing things.
yep.
It was very freeing.
Well, one of the things that I've always said about going online, and I don't know if you're okay with swearing on your channel, but
It's
I
okay.
don't owe you shit, you don't owe me shit.
Yeah.
And you have to, if you're going to put yourself out there on the if you're gonna start a channel and put yourself out there, you don't have to show up being a jerk, but you have to but when you start with that mindset of, "I'm doing what I enjoy doing. I'm okay with you not liking it, that's fine. You don't owe me your like, you don't owe me your good opinion, you don't owe me anything." And when you and it's not this belligerent screw you attitude, but it kinda is. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like that's what you did. It's like, I don't need to worry about their opinions. I don't need to worry about anything. I just need to be me, and I need to relax, and I need to enjoy what I'm doing. And the people that like it will stick around, and the people that don't like it, no hard feelings. I'm sure there's somebody else you'll enjoy, and that's what you have to do.
Yeah. And I will tell you, and, but there, for me, like, I do want people to like me and I do want people to be on
Of
my
course.
subscribe, but
We
there's a
all
line.
do.
Yeah. But there is that line. And, but it was just an interesting process because I haven't had that since I was in my 20s where all of a sudden it felt like I was vulnerable in a way that I could get hurt, I think, kind of.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and so it's like going to a little town in South Texas where I live. I don't live in a little town, but if I went to a little town in South Texas, I would be a little bit more reserved. And it felt that
Yes.
way. I was a little too conscious. But you and Peggy really just
I'm
settled.
Peggy.
Oh my God. You and Lisa. I did that twice. I did that
Oh,
twice.
have you done okay, you know what? We are usually sitting side by side. The idea that people get us mixed up is like, this is just nope, that's just the way it is. It's fine.
But I've never done that. So why I'm doing it now, I don't know. Uh,
'Cause I'm awesome and you're just so stunned by my brilliance that you gotta have a little bit you can't put your face on camera without walking in with a bit of an attitude. But anyway,
yeah. So,
no, there's places that we go that we're a lot more, I guess, discreet.
yeah.
And that makes sense. That's normal. Um, and in a lot of ways, like, okay, like, I put on pants today, I put on a bra today so I can be on camera today. Like, obviously, there's things that you do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that makes sense. But at the end of the day, like, I don't walk in with this belligerent F you attitude. No, actually, I do sometimes. She's over there giggling. No, you gotta, yeah, I mean, I just kind of walk in with this attitude of if you don't like me, there's a billion other channels on the YouTube platform. You're not obligated. You are not obligated to stay. So the fact that you're choosing to stay, even if you're choosing to stay and criticize and make, then I'm going to have fun with you.
Yeah.
It's like, which has happened a couple times, and the trolls left before we shut down. It's like
Yeah.
that's a whole different thing though. But no, I think you have to feel like you're being authentic. Even if you're choosing discretion, you have to feel that you're being authentic,
Yes.
or you're just not going to have a good time.
I think
That's
my
where the stress and burnout comes from.
yeah, my personality has been generally who I am. It was just that
Yep,
thin veil that was there that I was
absolutely.
conscious of. But now it's like I don't feel like I have this veil any longer.
But I think, you know what, like we have to reach back 5 years to when Lisa started her channel. That thin veil was there then too for us.
Hmm.
It really was. But there was two of us. There was two of us to encourage each other. I can't say us. It was Lisa's channel, but Lisa would go, I felt really nervous doing this. And I was right there. I was there to go, hey, don't worry about it, relax, blah, blah, blah. Me showing up on live streams occasionally kind of changed the flavor a bit for both of us, which is why I got comfortable. Me showing up occasionally on Lisa's channel is how I got comfortable enough to go, you know what, I've got some ideas. Let's just have fun and do whatever and see what it evolves into. So
That's great.
it's but like whenever Lisa, I can't say whenever, I don't know how to describe this. I'm giving myself way too much credit. She did all of the work of building her channel, right? But because like even by that time I was already retired. Well, I say semi-retired because I retired and then started working more than ever. But because she's like literally across the room from me doing a video and stuff like that, I'm right there to go, no, no, that sounds good. I'm right there to encourage her. So I got to learn what she was going through. That's the way to say it. Like I said, I don't want to make it sound like I'm giving myself credit here because I'm not. But I got to witness it up close and personal,
Yeah.
what she was going through. And some of those harder moments, she had me as a sounding board to get through it. So, but that was there. The veil was a little thicker when we first
Mm.
started, right? Like when she first started, the veil was a little bit thicker. Even when I started my channel going, if I'm too much of a dick on camera, I could really harm my wife's reputation because you don't want that. You don't want
Right. Isn't
backlash,
that
right?
interesting? Yeah.
So I did go through it, but differently,
Hmm.
right? I went through it, but differently. I don't know. It's very difficult to put into words because witnessing things with that she was going through, helping her through things, if and when things happen. Like the first time that she got a bunch of trolls in her chat, she was upset.
Yeah.
Right? This sort of thing, and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck them. It's like, whatever, it is what it is," and then we got through it, and then the first time I got a bunch of trolls, I just sat there and laughed my ass off. It's like, "Are you kidding me? Me? You're gonna come after me? I'm just gonna laugh at what an idiot you are." They left. I didn't have to shut down my chat, right? It's like but this is like lucky circumstances that for me, I don't know. I do not know how to fully articulate it. I really don't. Because you when you just experience it without overthinking it,
Hmm.
it's like I always say that it's like describing walking. Describe
Ah,
the process by which you learn to walk. It's like, I don't know, I just did it. I was young, it just happened, and now here I am, right?
yeah.
Same thing, same. So it goes in circles, but it's yeah, you go through your moments. You have your moments where it's like, oh, should I say that? Should I have said that? Should I walk that back? Everybody goes through it, and then you just start getting comfortable. You start getting more and more comfortable. You find your groove, you find your voice, and you just go.
So,
But yeah,
so what drew you to tarot?
tarot. Tarot is interesting for me. My tarot story is a little bit more convoluted.
Okay.
Back in the day, when I was young, like what, 40 years ago, tarot was a novelty. Really, you couldn't just go online and research it. I had a cousin who was into tarot and astrology and stuff like that, so there was a bit of that. And I kind of played with it off and on for years and years and years as a bit of a novelty, as whatever. And I thought it was really interesting. I would pull a card and go, "Oh, that's kind of matching my mood today." And pull a card, look it up. This is whatever. So on and off, more off than on. And then Lisa comes along and gives me a couple of really like a couple of readings that made me just really sit up and take notice, especially when the stuff that she said in her reading is proven to be true. So that's a story all in itself. But finding my way to tarot, basically that happened through Lisa. I mean, I'll give her all the credit because before she came along, I didn't really, okay, I knew enough to know that it existed, but without the benefit of the internet, you're only going to be able to dive so deep. And I'm from a
Right.
small enough town. So yeah, so Lisa giving me a couple of really like stellar spot on readings combined with just her living in my house. So I kind of mirrored her journey, but with less intensity.
Okay.
Until we see what we see. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It goes back so long and is such a weird little path for me. So
So when you started learning the tarot, what challenges did you face in that, let's say, that first year?
oh, I still have the exact same challenge to this day. I do not I cannot I have to rely on the guidebooks. I even after all this time, even after Lisa being who she is, I cannot do a reading without the guidebooks or without keywords because I just do not remember the cards fully and properly from memory. I've just never managed to do it. I don't know why, but oh, pardon me. I don't know why, but it just never happened that way
Well, I will
for
tell
me.
you, I love that you did a reading and you had your guidebook there. And I was like, oh my gosh. So now if I ever do a live reading and I need the guidebook, somebody else did it and it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's like for some reason,
Nobody
once I see it, then it seems fine. But I don't know. I don't know why that is with my brain and why it works that way.
You know what? I think because the vast majority of people who do readings online do not use the guidebooks. A lot of there is some gatekeeping in the community, and I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but there are some people who are very much on board with if you have not memorized all the cards, you are not a real tarot reader.
Mm,
And so we hear this, and even when you're like, yeah, no, whatever. Even when you put that in the background noise is the end. And that's not even the background noise. The end result is nobody uses the books when they're doing readings. Um, and there's a lot of reasons for that. There's a little bit of that veil you put up. There's a little bit of you don't you want when you go online and put yourself out there, you want to succeed. You don't want to be criticized, so you don't show up until you've memorized the entire deck. And it's like, well, I give kick-ass readings, but I confirm everything through the books first. And I also strongly believe though I think that when you are drawn to pick up a particular deck, you are drawn to that deck because of the nuances and meaning that that particular creator has given for those cards. Every deck is a little bit different. The nuances are a little bit different and stuff like that. So it's like, what is if I am drawn to using this deck today, then I'm obviously drawn to what that nuance for those cards is for that reading. So that kind of goes into that's a bit of a tight circle for me over this is a tight circle for me over here while I'm like I don't need to worry about what other people are and aren't doing online. But I think a lot of readers are just they want to be taken seriously as a reader, so they don't want to do things that people criticize.
yeah, I want to be taken when it comes to the channel. I think one of the things that gives me some grace is that because I am new and I do discuss how new I am. If I did do the readings with the book, it is part of that process of me learning.
Yep.
So that gives me some grace, I think, because I'm not trying to pretend to be one of those people that has pick a pile, pick a crystal,
You know
that.
what though? You don't need grace. This is the thing. You don't need grace.
Thank
You
you.
just need to be you just need to be who you are. Right? And that's and that is but that's a concept that this is the kind of stuff we talk about when we're doing Self-Force Saturday and stuff like that, right? So I jump right into, okay, let me just be your counselor for a minute. But
This is
thing is
very
that
the hermit moment for me, where I'm.
yeah, it's like, well, we don't really it's not we want that grace,
Hmm.
right? We want the grace, the validation and the recognition. That's totally human nature 101. And but when you're putting yourself out there, you actually when you're taking the time and energy to put yourself out there, you don't need it. You shouldn't need it. You shouldn't feel like you need it because you're doing something that most people Of the millions and millions of people that read tarot, how many of them have channels? 1% of 1% of 1%. You're already doing something that deserves grace.
Thank you. I think that's
Well, you're
great.
quite welcome. You're quite welcome. But yeah, I tried to get, I will try to get through without the books when we're just messing around or whatever. But yeah, I pull out the books. I don't care. My favorite deck is the Radiant Practical Wisdom Tarot with the Radiant Wise. It has got a little card.
You got
This
blurry
is
because
my,
I think your camera focused on your
I,
hands.
I leaned in too much. Is it better? How's it now?
It's okay.
Okay.
It should fix itself.
This is my favorite deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen it before.
You've seen it before. This is why it's my favorite deck, because the meanings are right on the
Ah,
card.
yes. You
I
did a walkthrough of, you were doing a decluttering, like a
Yeah.
drastic decluttering, and you should, yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that video still gets views. I've got to do another decluttering because it's Lisa will get a deck and go, "I'm not so sure. What do you think? You might like this deck." And then all of a sudden I've got this. I don't buy decks. I very rarely buy a deck for myself, and my collection grows, and then I have to do a declutter. But this is personally my absolute favorite deck right now. I have a new favorite that's coming up soon, but anyway, I have that by default has to be my favorite. But anyway, the fact that the meanings are right on the cards, I can pop through my readings faster and stuff like that. Not going through a book, but
how did you start studying the tarot?
um, I don't know if you want to call it studying or not studying. I mean,
Okay.
I think at a certain point, I got to the point where my readings were getting more and more accurate because, in spite of whether or not you're looking up the meanings, a certain amount of, for me personally, a certain amount of my intuition has to be involved and stuff like that. So as I got more and more practice and my readings started getting more and more accurate and better, I started taking it more and more seriously. So I guess natural evolution, I never really sat down and went, I have to study this. I never did that. I just slowly built it up as I went along and I just let the process take care of itself.
Do you feel comfortable with your whole reading process and um, how you go about reading the cards?
Yes, very much so. I don't like initially it's just like I said, letting the process happen. And now it's just like I just don't even struggle anymore. It's just like do and grab the book or grab a deck with keywords, go and just let it. But yeah, I feel pretty good about where things are right now with what my readings are like because I feel like they're natural, intuitive, and I don't feel like reaching for the book or not knowing each individual card off the top of my head. I don't think that I know most of the cards. Or Lisa says I know. Lisa says I know more than I think. I think she's wrong, but anyway.
Well, I watched
And
several of your videos where you were doing readings on that channel, where you were just doing readings and you weren't using the guidebook, and it sounded like you knew, the readings came out really nice.
yeah,
And
I think it.
I didn't hear hesitation or struggle of recall or anything.
Um. Oh, on my little baby tarot channel, that
Uh-huh,
one.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, see, for some of the more involved readings, though, I would stop the camera and just give a quick look through a quick little
Mhm.
keyword.
Okay.
check out check out keywords or stuff like that. And I think I'm positive somewhere along the line that I wasn't doing that initially, and then I realized, oh shit, I'm missing something. And I started pointing that out in the videos. Okay, I'm just gonna pause, take a quick look at the book,
Okay.
and then come back. So for the most part, I was referring to something as I was going. And I do think that some of the earlier videos that I wasn't remembering to say it because when you're starting out, it's like, oh, what do I need? What do I need to say? What don't I need to say? But no, I was even if I already knew the cards, I would just go like you get the Death card, the Tower, and the Fool, and it's like okay, yeah, those I know those. That's easy. So for the most part, whoa, what did I just do?
I
There we
can see
go.
you
I
just
just
fine.
no, I clicked the button and then I couldn't see you, so it's like
Oh,
I
okay.
better make sure I'm still here. But yeah, I did. There are some disclaimers eventually started showing up where I was saying, yeah, I'm going to double check the guidebook, or if I double check the guidebook, that sort of thing. But Yeah, if I already know the cards, I don't have to look up anything.
Well, one thing that I like about that is, and the disclaimer as well, is that you're not pretending and you're being very authentic and you want to be accurate. And that's the thing.
Yep,
Like, I got to check the guidebook. I'm not going to wing it here because, this
yep.
is actual reading. So I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out okay. I'm going to slow down cuz I'm talking way too fast. I think there are a lot of people out there with very authentic, I don't know how to say it. When you first start doing something, you're going to be a little you're going to get it wrong, you're going to struggle, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. But I think there are a lot of people out there that have developed some very authentic, very real, very intuitive skills that still need to make reference to the books or like I'll be like, dude, honey, what's this card again? Honey, what's this card again? I think there's people that have got some very developed and distinct skills, but because they're not following the stereotype, they think that they don't.
Hmm.
Does that make sense? I'm not sure if I said that very well.
Okay. So
But
can you expand on that a little bit?
well, because like Lisa has the supportive tarot Facebook group and people come in, "Oh, I'm just learning this, but I'm not very good at it yet because I haven't memorized all the cards." And then they get chatting and it's like you're doing oh, I did a reading about this and this is what it was about and they're talking about this and it's like you absolutely understand what you're
Okay.
talking about.
Okay.
You do know what you're doing, but you're measuring your success against a stereotype, I guess.
Yeah,
The you must
it's
remember.
like being a tennis player at your local club, compared to being a tennis player on the pro tour. You know how to play tennis. You're just not playing
Exactly.
tennis on the pro tour.
Yeah, and maybe you will rank on the pro
Yeah.
tour if you just give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, I'm the best tennis player in my club, but all the other people at the only people at my club that play tennis are 10 and 11-year-olds, so of course I'm not that good." Right?
Yeah.
It's like you could be a world-class tennis player and just not know it because of the environment in which you're currently practicing.
Yeah. That makes a lot of
And
sense.
I think this applies to tarot. I think there are some people I have encountered them and I'm looking at them going like, "What do you mean you don't know anything? You're doing it your way, but because you've got this stereotype is a kind of a trap word to use, but because you've got this idea in your mind, because you've built this stereotype for yourself of what good means, you won't allow yourself to say that you're good."
It sounds like you're describing imposter syndrome.
Yes. I mean, I definitely a flavor of that for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And because we have so many people, like we do have some gate every community has its gatekeeping. So I'm not saying that there's anything out of the ordinary happening where that's concerned, but to be a good reader, you have to know A, B, C, and D. And it's like, no, you don't. You have to be you have to be comfortable in what you're doing so that you can focus your energy and your intuition and get a reading that makes sense. That's it. Everything else is window dressing. Everything it is, that's my belief. That's my your mileage may vary, but that's my belief. That's how it works for me. And people tell me I do
Oh
kick
my,
ass readings. So
I love it. Your mileage is, what did you say? Your mileage is
your mileage may vary.
may vary. I've never heard that. That's hilarious.
Oh, really? That's like, oh, that's such an old one. That's old. That's like really old.
How
Oh, I'm
how
dating
long did it
myself.
take you to get to that place where you're comfortable with your reading style?
I think I've always been comfortable.
Okay.
I think I've always been comfortable. And so for me, the question, how I would take in that question is how long did it take for me to get confident that I was
Mhm.
doing well?
Okay.
And and so this is again having the advantage of a wife who is a professional tarot reader who has her own channel. So I would do a reading, "Hey honey, what do you think of this? Hey honey, what do you think of this?" And so Lisa basically it's like, "No, no, no, you're doing fine. Just keep doing what you're doing. This reading is I would do a reading and go, "Okay, so this is what I get for this, blah 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 blah." And she would come I would like, 15 minutes later, "Hey honey, I think this," and she come over and go, "Uh-huh," and then walk away. It's like,
That's nice.
"Okay."
It's nice to have that
Yeah.
support.
Yeah, like, so support and not
And
just blowing smoke
yeah.
feedback, but actual feedback. "No, no, no, this card actually means this, so were you looking," you know, maybe I've looked at the wrong card in the guidebook, or I thought I knew it and I got it mixed up with another card, so you go, "This card actually means this, so," and I go, "Oh, okay," and then so, yeah, when she would come over and go, "No, this is good. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I can agree with that reading." It's like, okay, somebody who's been doing tarot seriously since she was a teenager is telling me that I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
So, do you remember the first time you were on her channel?
I don't think so.
So, which is the earliest time that you remember being on her channel, and what was that like for you to be on the channel and
Um,
all these people?
I don't know. Now, when she first, because of course I've kind of been around from the very
Hmm.
beginning. So I've been on her channel when she only had 5 people in chat, on a live stream where she only had 5 people in chat. And in the last couple of years, I've been on live streams with her where she's had over 200 people in chat.
Right.
So I've kind of been there from the beginning as it's built up. Um, we used to do a public Self-Worth Saturday, so we did that every week
It was a public what?
for,
What was it, Saturday?
um, Self-Worth Saturday.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay.
Those were live streams that she was doing early on. Um, now she does it for membership just because the conversations can sometimes get pretty raw and vulnerable, and
Hmm.
so I don't think we never we had some feedback back then that if these could be private, they'd be people would be a lot more comfortable, and we took the feedback. But anyway, so I was on with her weekly for that. Um,
Were you
and then
comfortable initially
yeah,
with it? Yeah.
yep, yep, because it started small and worked its way up.
Hmm.
So instead of focusing on, and again, this is the whole, a lot of people start a channel and they go, "Oh, this there's only 5 people. This feels weird. I don't like this." It's like whatever. It's like, "Hey, this is a great place to practice, to make mistakes, to do it
Yeah.
wrong, to whatever, and grow and learn." So yeah, um, and then of course we've done a few videos together. We did the Emperor's New Tarot. That was our biggest, most recent project.
Oh, is that up?
The Emperor's New Tarot.
Yeah. I mi-
That was a spoof that we did.
I missed it.
That was a spoof. Oh, the spoof it was we did it for the membership first. No, public. Oh, the Emperor's New Tarot is a spoof walkthrough that we did. We took a completely blank deck.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, yes, I remember now.
Yes, yes. Okay, yeah. You know what? It's because it's not a real deck. So people are
Hmm.
trying to, I've got to remember to punchline first. I've got to remember to give the punchline first because this particular deck is a fake. It's a spoof. We bought a set of blank cards
Yeah.
and then did a fake walkthrough, and that's probably the biggest project that we've done together. I still show up for the shenanigans and stuff like that, but that was probably the last big project that we did because we had to, like, on the fly be a comedy routine for a couple hours. And so yeah, I so it feels very comfortable and relaxed for me because she's been doing it for 5 years
Yeah.
now. So there's not a lot to I can report on little itty bitty details, but there's nothing big to report anymore because it's just a natural, normal thing that we do in the Papez house now. So
Well, when I first started watching Lisa's channel, um, you would be in like in the background, you would pass by, y'all would kind of talk to each other and you were off camera.
yeah,
Then one day you
we
sat
still
with
do that.
her and that's how I got introduced to you. And then all of a sudden you were part of the channel and it was Lisa, uh, and you. And so, for me, it's Lisa's channel. She's predominantly out
Yeah,
there. It's hard for me not to think of you when, I watch one of her episodes.
I think, because we live in the same house,
Hmm.
right? So I think that, yeah, it's definitely Lisa's channel, and I definitely show up in the background or whatever sometimes. So people tend to know who I am generally,
Yeah.
which is kind of nice. It's flattering. But I don't have nearly the same pressure. I don't have
Yeah.
the same pressure.
Another thing that y'all did, you've actually done some things for me. Because when I was first starting, everything had to be perfect and you can't make any noise and the dogs have to be in the other room. And watching y'all, you would just come into the room or a dog would come in and sit there. So now I'm just very laid back. And one day I
Yeah,
remember Steve's my ex-husband. He was sitting here, and I would tell him I'm going to record. So for the next hour, just know I'm recording. And he'd try to tiptoe around, and he'd make noise in the kitchen, and I would cringe on the inside.
yeah. Oh, we have been there and done that.
And
We
then
have.
watching y'all, I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it, Steve. You know, do what you're gonna do. Just don't turn the TV on. And so
Yeah.
it
Yeah, I
became
do
much
that.
easier.
I use headphones. So if when she's recording, I have the headphones on, so there's nothing blasting in the background. But yeah, same thing. When we first started out, I would try to be as quiet as possible, not to interrupt her stream and stuff like that. Now I'm just over there sewing, making noise, yelling at the dogs, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever. It's like no biggie. Not a,
Uh, All right. And so earlier you mentioned your favorite deck. What other decks do you tend to use right now? What are your go-tos?
um, I don't, except for this, I don't really have a go-to deck. Depends on my mood, depends on what's going on. I do have an absolute weakness for the tiny, tiny, tiny decks in life.
I saw that. I was like I saw your micro one, which you got during the
Yeah.
winter, came out. But I'm watching you do like some readings, and most of them are really small. Small. What is it about the small decks?
Well, I'm farsighted for starters.
Oh, okay.
So
Never even
sometimes
thought about that.
yeah, I wear glasses for reading for up close.
Yeah,
So it's sometimes easier for me to see things that are a little further out. It's that very stereotypical vision thing that happens. Oh, you're old now. Let's screw with
yeah.
how you see things, right? And that's not a big deal. But the bigger decks, I just cannot shuffle them properly ever. Like a standard size deck is just really hard for me to hold on to. So then the smaller the decks were, the more fascinated I got by it. So it's like,
I
yeah, I
find
want the
that so
smallest possible deck.
interesting. How
Lisa,
many of
Lisa,
those do you think you have?
mini decks?
Yeah,
One, probably close. Yeah, I was gonna say a dozen, and Lisa's like holding up like, so yeah, at least a dozen tiny decks. Lisa got me a deck. It's like the cards are like the size of your pinky, if
okay.
that. They're really, really tiny. I should it's on my shelf if you wanna grab it.
Do you actually
She
use it?
I've
Or is it
okay.
novelty?
I've used all of my decks at least once,
Okay.
but the teeny tiny, super tiny, she's gonna go grab it. This deck is so tiny, it's a novelty. You're not gonna be able, it's an unusable.
No matter how
Oh, and you can
farsighted you
cast
are.
with it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the case. That's what it comes in. That's the card.
Okay.
This is the King of Wands.
You know, those would actually work like charms if you had a mat. You could,
That's
you,
That's what Lisa just said for casting.
yeah.
So this is a not this one here is my this is currently I have a deck that's ever so slightly smaller, but it was a it's upside right. Oh, it's upside down. Ace of Wands?
Wands, I think. Yeah.
Ace of Wands, yeah. So
Hmm.
this deck it's a fully usable deck. It's a full deck. It's the entire deck right in there. This is the smallest one that I've found so far. I had another one that was I got from I picked up from a little Etsy shop that does dollhouse furniture,
Oh,
and
okay.
they had a deck, but unfortunately it's not a complaint about the person that created the deck, but what they had was they had the cards glued to a back, and I ordered it in the winter time, so the glue dried,
Yes,
hardened,
I saw
cracked.
that. I did see
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay, you did see that video, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's probably actually my smallest deck, but that's not usable at all.
Have you
But
ever
I've
had a
got
deck? Have you ever had a deck that, because I've had this experience, this is why I asked, have a deck that all you opened up, had in your hands, and all of a sudden you were like, had a very strong visceral reaction towards it?
oh, yeah,
Yeah? Do you
both good or
remember?
bad. Um, I don't my problem is that I'm not a collector,
Mm-hmm.
so I would not be able to tell you I had to read the box to remember what this is my favorite deck of all time, and I had to read the box to remember what the deck name is.
Well, you know what? We have a lot in common because I'm the exact same way.
Yeah, see, so I've had a couple of decks where I've like, "This is gross," and just don't want anything to do with it. I've had a couple of decks where this is amazing balls. There are so many decks out there that I think are amazing, but I know I can't use them. Like that, like I'm like that with Oracle decks. I'm like, "Oh my god, this deck is amazing,"
Oh my
and I
God.
can't.
I was gonna ask, do you use them at all?
Nope,
No? What do
not
you think it
no.
is?
I don't know because I look at the art in an Oracle deck and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh my god, this deck is cool. This deck is awesome. This deck is amazing." Okay, there you go. I'm done with it now.
Oh.
I just every single time I've tried to integrate Oracle into a reading, the reading goes south. The cards make no sense. It just doesn't work for me, and I don't know why, but
Oh God.
and Lisa has tried so many times.
I can't tell you. I find that so funny when you say, yeah, I put them in there and the reading goes south. That's funny to me. I don't know why, but it is. But I love
No.
Oracle cards. In fact, I have a whole shelf of nothing but Oracle
Oh,
cards,
yeah.
tarot cards.
About half of Lisa's collection is Oracle right now, and but yet it's like, I do
Yeah,
not know why, it just
she has
never
a
worked for me.
few that I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been trying to find.
Oh,
But
Lisa's?
yeah, but everybody, everybody has something that somebody else wants. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that some people get really upset when you show out of print decks. I love when people show out
Mm,
of print decks because I get to see like decks I would probably never see, but also decks that I can put on a unicorn list just in case I get lucky, you know?
yeah, I mean, I get it. Some of these out of print decks are really, really, really expensive.
Yeah.
Um, and but that's a whole okay, for me personally, okay, at least it's got a few decks. Lisa's got a few decks that have gone out of print and are now worth a screaming shit ton of money.
Yep.
But okay, by my standards, anything more than 20 bucks is a screaming shit ton of money. So, there's that. But thing is, there's the deck, and then there's the deck conversation, and then there's the money conversation.
Hmm.
And talking about these decks, I think it's fascinating to find out what's been out there, what's popular, what I think it's a really cool thing. I think it's really, really cool, but also I'm not a collector, so I'm not impacted by the money part of that conversation.
So, I don't think I'm a collector either, even though I have about 70 to 80 decks total, Oracle and but I do have some decks that are like I collect them, like the Baba Studio ones,
Yeah,
but I love them all.
yeah.
And I'll use them. But I have like backups of some of them, which do I need that? No, but I got them. Um,
You know what? If you've got an indie deck that you're using on a regular basis, and and it's like, okay, unless something drastic changes in my world, this is a lifetime favorite for me. Having a backup deck, there's no reason not to.
yeah, I have them also because Baba Studios is not going to make tarot decks again. They've made an announcement. But I also have
Yeah.
some backups of other ones that I don't think, like the spoiler tarot. That one's I don't think will ever get published again. So I was
No.
lucky to get it, and then a backup. I have some other ones that I think will might get printed again, but I don't think anything's in the works.
Well, the thing is, okay, have you seen Lisa's Say Yes to the Deck series?
Yes, I would love to try that with y'all one day if y'all ever do it
Oh,
again.
oh, I can torture you for an hour on camera. It would be fine. That's my job. My job is to
Is
come
that?
in.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, my job
I've
is
seen them. You're like, very
I'm like,
critical. It's
what's
like
your budget? Do you
the
really need this?
spotlight right here.
Oh yeah. No, it's like, yeah, it's like I know people that have spent five or $600 for a deck. And it's like, you know what? If that fits what you're looking, if it fits what you want, what works for you, what's within your budget, then there's no reason not to. So yeah, I think talking about out of print decks gets very tricky very quickly because people are concerned with FOMO, scarcity, the prices, and it's like, and that's a valid conversation,
I
but
agree.
you're not actually talking about the value of what that particular deck is bringing to your world. Did you spend $600 for that deck, or did you happen to buy it while it was still in print and now the value's gone up and you're
Yep.
just the lucky owner of something that's now has value, right? So that gets really, I
I
think it
think,
gets very weird.
and then I think another thing that people don't really necessarily think about, because when I first started, I bought a lot of decks right away because one, I got like really carried away. But then
Absolutely, everybody
people,
does.
but it's all very relative because for me, I'm fortunate that I have that income to be able to buy it compared to
Yep,
somebody who doesn't. So when I did my unicorn deck video, I had to really think about what people were calling unicorn decks, which I originally didn't agree with. And I came to
yeah,
remember, like, well, Benny, everybody's economic status is different.
yep,
Everybody, people have different kinds of bills than you do. I like all this kind of stuff. So you can have somebody who can spend $1,000 on a deck, but they make, six figures and then some.
absolutely. And then you have people and then you have people that for some reason this deck has resonated. Pardon me, I'm chugging pop. Some of these people, like if a deck, if it, pardon me, I don't care if you leave that in or not, but
Okay.
anyway,
I was about to check the time.
if a deck, like Lisa has spent more than she should for a few decks here and there, and she has a budget, right? It's like, okay, I really wanted this deck. I really gave it some thought, and it's within my budget, or it's not within my budget, so I saved up for it, right? This sort of
Mhm.
thing. Because your reasons and motivations for doing a particular thing are not actually anybody's business.
Correct.
It's like, and I think that we have, and this happens in every community, the makeup community. Oh, why are you spending this much money for a particular makeup? Because it's what I wanted, and my reasons for are my own. My budget is none of your business. So this is what I now
It can be
have.
as simple as because I want it.
Yeah, because it's Tuesday, and that's just who I am. It's like you're allowed. You're That's what the wonderful world of. But no, I get it. Like there is a little bit of jealousy, which I can understand. It's human nature. But like we don't have the space for a six. We don't have a space for Lisa to have 1,000 decks, right? We could have $1 million in the bank, but we do not have the space. We still have reasons for limiting ourselves, and money has nothing to do with it. So everybody has their own circumstances, their own motivations, their own reasons, and they're none of my fucking business. Relax and enjoy the deck. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Like if somebody else is showing me a deck, I can either like the deck or dislike the deck. It's kind of shitty of me to judge you for owning it. It's like that. I don't like that when it pops up in the community.
Do you have any out of print decks?
I did, but I rehomed them.
A couple of your minis are out of print.
A couple of my minis are out of print.
Okay.
Um, I would actually have to go look. I
Okay.
don't know and I don't keep track. I had
Uh,
the
I,
Cagliostro for a
I
while.
I sent you these questions to be prepared.
Me prepared. I knew that if I prepared, I would overthink. I would overthink. When I overthink, I turn into a completely different person.
Oh,
I become stiff and stilted, and I nobody has a good time when I'm overthinking. So it's like, nope, I looked at the questions, this is awesome, and then I will let Benny lead, and I will lead where Benny follows, and that is what we're doing today.
have you ever had a deck that you might have worked with, but there was a card in there that ruined it for you?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
No.
I I enjoy tarot as a whole. I know if a card if a card if I if a card if there's something about a card that I'm not liking the art, but otherwise I'm enjoying the whole deck, that I can look past it. Because you don't get it right no matter who you are, no matter what you do, if you are making a deck, there is going to be a card that somebody's not going to like.
Right. Like the
So
Three of Swords.
if it is my turn to not like that card, it is my job as an adult to get over it. And
Look at
I don't
you being so
I don't
mature about it.
yeah, I just don't give a shit anymore. It's like I don't need well, and I'm not a collector, so I don't need to be.
Yeah.
As a collector, you can sometimes be more impacted by by small things, and I don't have that kind of a mindset. So it's like if the deck is otherwise working for me, then it's like, okay, this particular card's not my favorite, but that's okay. I can work with that. I don't have to interpret it the way the creator intended. I can just work around it. And I don't have to let it bother me. So I just don't.
What's your favorite tarot card?
My favorite tarot card is probably the Tower.
Oh, and why is the Tower your favorite card?
Well, on a personal level, I've kind of restarted my life several times.
Mm-hmm.
Different ways, different reasons. First I came out of the closet, then I had a falling out with my family, then I moved all the way across the country, then okay, let me see. So first I was married and got divorced, then I came out, then I had a falling out with my family, then I moved across the country, then I basically, in terms of professional, I'm a forever entry level. I've only got a high school education, so changing jobs is often starting over.
Yeah.
I've done so much of it in my life, and I've seen both the good and the bad of it, that the Tower, I don't think it's maybe a favorite, but it's the most fascinating.
Is it
I
one
mean,
that you resonate the most with?
yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay.
It's like, hey, when you embrace the Tower energy, this starting over can be exciting. It can lead to good. Not one single change in my life has led to a bad thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, wait, Tower's not that bad. In the moment, it feels like shit. Oh, having a falling out with my family, that really felt like crap, didn't it? And it's like, wait, I'm in a better place now. I'm in a better place than I would have been if I hadn't had that falling out. I'm in a better place than I would have been if I'd stayed married. I'm in a better place than I
Mm,
would have been if I'd refused to come out to the West
yeah.
Coast to be with Lisa. It's like those towers aren't in the moment. So yeah, the Tower for me is the most fascinating. I mean, the 10 of Cups is the best one. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, look, everything's perfect. And nobody ever gets that card. Okay, nobody ever gets that card when it applies to your entire life as a whole. And if you do, I want to meet you and I want to be your best friend.
Yeah, it's
So
more
it's
like
like,
a moment in your life.
yeah, it's that, but it is, for me, it's very specific though. I do not identify with the Tower, but it's my favorite card.
Okay. See, yeah, I resonate with the Five of Pentacles because I could see a lot of my life in the Five of Pentacles, which also,
Yeah.
when you were describing the Tower, I could see my life through the Tower quite a bit as well.
Yeah.
Uh, but I'm curious because I think your answer is going to be very different than probably most people. What is the most you would be willing to pay for a deck, you think? And it better not be
Uh,
$21.
1999. Let me see. The most okay. I have a very weird answer though, because
Okay.
I get decks for free because the wife gets a
Yep.
deck, and so she
Yeah,
she
but what would
collects.
you be willing to pay for the most for a deck
Uh,
that you
wait, wait,
really
wait,
like?
wait, 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 wait. Just wait. How much did I spend for the Tower Takedown Tarot?
Takeover?
Tower Takeover Tarot.
Probably like 60, $70. I don't remember. Maybe
About
it was like
$60.
Okay.
I own the Tower Takeover Tarot. Is that what it's called? Did I get it right? And that deck just fascinated me, so I had to have it. I still have it. I still use it once in a while. It's actually readable.
Okay.
It's actually I should probably maybe pull that up next time I need to have that handy. It's actually the guidebook is very, very small. It's not much bigger than a little white book, but it actually is readable. It's like it just explains things. It's fun. It's
I
fun.
want to look it up. What's the name of it again?
Tower Takeover Tarot.
Tower.
Hey, hun.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
look it
torture
up.
my wife. I
Yeah,
should
that's
just brought all my decks out here.
it's okay. And
But yeah, so if a deck fascinates me enough, I'll put a few dollars into it. But also, like, don't forget, yeah,
oh, I have seen that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's hilarious. But like when you get into the book, like, okay, the Ace of Cups, and you'll find every single card has a tower on it. Every single card is a
Mm-hmm.
tower. Okay. So the tower is the same, different things are being thrown off. Like the Ace of Cups, your subconscious and conscious are having trouble connecting.
Okay.
That's the tower. That's what the Ace of. So basically, it's the reverses, right?
Yeah.
The 5 streams of water representing your 5 senses have spilled and you'll be disoriented as a result. Be careful who you open to. Be careful who you open to about your feelings before you sort them out yourself.
When would you use that deck?
Um, this is the deck. This is the deck that you use if you're going through some shit. This is a shadow deck, right? It's like, okay, I'm going through some stuff and I need to figure out what I'm doing without pulling any punches. It's like, so this is the deck when you need that not so fluffy message.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a good deck. I actually did a bunch of readings with it. I was on live doing some I was live streaming doing some readings, and they worked. It was amazing how accurate this deck was. It was like hilarious, but yeah. So a deck has to really, really blow my mind. This kind of blew my mind because it was such a unique concept. A deck has to blow my mind before I'll spend money, but I think 50 to 60 is probably the most I'll spend.
Okay.
And the money has to already be there. We're not going to pull out the credit card and pay for it later. It's like, oh, I've got this going on. I've got extra cash. I will
Um,
justify the
I am
expense.
with you with that. I don't own a single credit card.
Oh,
Haven't
I've
for
got a credit
years.
card. That kicks me in the ass
If
sometimes.
I can't pay for it cash, I'm not going to buy it. But every once in a while, I'll dip into my savings to get a deck, but then immediately I have to put that money back. Um,
Yeah,
Especially if it's a deck that I'm fearful won't get reprinted and they only got a little bit left. Uh,
yeah. That's kind of how Lisa does it.
have you do you journal at all?
No, I Lisa is the journaler of the family. I don't. I've never really been able to resonate with it. I've tried.
Hmm.
I've tried, but it for me it feels like work. For me it feels like something I'm trying to make happen.
Yes.
So it just never ended up being something I got into.
I'm trying to I think it was Donna who I just interviewed yesterday. I mentioned the same thing that it becomes very tedious. I like the idea of creating something very beautiful,
Yep.
but now I've gotten to a place where uh, I don't even like journaling, but I'm doing it with Kelsey just so I could try to learn the cards. But this is about as fancy as I get now. That's it.
Yep.
We're studying the Ehrenberg, but then I have the Rider Waite Smith one here. But that's as fancy as I'm ever gonna get. It's just
Yep.
not.
That's my thing. I tried it and it's like,
It's work.
okay,
It is
yeah.
work.
Well, and I'm like you've seen how fast I can talk, and this is me slowing down. It's like for me to get it from brain to paper is like, but I've already thought through the entire thing from beginning to end, and now I'm starting to write. It's like it's just for me. I just go, but yeah, it feels like I'm having to slow down and restrain myself just to get it on paper, and then it feels like too much work. So I
Yeah, for
just
me, it's like
end up not.
it feels tedious. It takes too long. Like now I have to
Yes,
like cut it like these that I posted on here. I have to sit here and cut these squares out of, and it just drives me crazy that I have to cut this square out. And then I have to be really
I
particular about cutting it so I don't go a little too far into the boundary.
I'm pointing an accusing finger at my wife here. It's like, don't worry, I'm talking about you, not to you. Anyway, she, she is over there trying to play a video game, and every time she hears me, every time she can tell that I'm over there, what do you want now? But no, she will get cutting everything out. She gets the washi tape. She does all the decorative stuff. I did this, I did that. She gets stickers. I'm just like looking at like you're an alien. I don't understand.
Yeah,
It does
I
not
could do
resonate,
it.
and don't I don't know why. I mean, I've got great penmanship. It's fine, but no, I just don't.
Not
I've
hard to brings
never
forth.
been able to resonate with it, and it
What,
just ends up being tedious.
what does your tarot practice look like?
My tarot practice is I'm basically retired and work from home. We have a very quiet, mellow life going on. So my tarot practice can see me doing a whole bunch of readings for a few days and then not touching my decks again for a month or once a day. It literally depends on what's going on, what my mood is, what the question is. Am I looking for a daily follow up on things? I don't do a daily draw. I should, but I don't. Um, but then a daily draw doesn't do me any good when I can do the exact same things 5, 7, 10 days in a row with a lot. So it is literally, I do not have a schedule. I do not have a routine. I just, whatever catches my attention that day, that is what I do.
Yeah.
And if that means I'm doing nothing, that's fine too.
Yeah, I generally pull Monday through Fridays in the morning. My journal is my Instagram post, so I'll do my
Oh, okay.
take a picture, I'll do my reading, and then I'll summarize it, and then I'll post it on Instagram. And so, like, if I need a reminder during the day, I go to Instagram and look at what I need to be mindful for the day.
Right.
But that's kind of like my journaling is Instagram. It's how I keep a
Yeah.
track record of my
Yeah,
reading.
I don't yeah, I never ever fell into doing anything specific. And yet like there's time where I'll do like a big reading every day for a month. But I just kind of I'm very much intuition driven.
Mm-hmm.
So I just go with whatever feels natural and normal for that day, week, whatever. And I don't let myself be held into any I don't get boxed in. And
Yeah.
like Lisa loves being boxed in. Well, me okay, I call it being boxed in. She says routine,
Structure.
tomato, tomato, whatever. But yeah, I've never been able to I have certain routines when certain things are happening,
Yeah.
but I do not stress about maintaining any particular routine at any given time. It just makes me nuts.
Now I want to make sure I respect your time. How much time do
Um,
about?
yeah, we have to go soon. Oh, what time is
Okay.
it? Yeah, we gotta go in a bit.
Okay. So let me ask you just a few more questions.
Shit,
Um,
Lisa's gonna yeah, how much time, honey? About what, 20 minutes?
If we want to eat, we gotta leave soonish.
Okay.
I'll just
So
ask you a
15,
few
20
more.
minutes?
Yeah, I'll ask you a few more questions. So, of course, you have the channel with Lisa. Do you watch any other YouTubers that you like watching?
I'm subscribed to a bunch of people that I watch when I have time.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem that I have is that when I'm sewing, I cannot hear properly other people talking. I don't know, the sound of the machine and whatnot just gets in the way of all that, and then
Yeah.
you're concentrating. You're concentrating and you realize, "Oh, 10 minutes have passed, I haven't caught a word." So I don't have as much viewing time as I would like. So I kind of pop around.
Who
I
do you
kind of
like?
pop around. Pardon me?
Who do you like?
My wife?
Yes.
Otherwise, it's you really topical. Depends
Okay.
on who. It depends on what the topic is at any given time. So I can pop into a video that's like a year and a half old because that's the topic. Oh, hey, I want to. Hey, let's look up this today. Let's do this today. Whatever. So I am all over the place, and I love other opinions and other thoughts. Like I'm subscribed to a few channels. I'm described. Danny Mystic,
Mm-hmm.
Don Boho Tarot. Obviously, I'm subscribed to a few people like that. But for the rest of it, and I'm subscribed to a ton of small channels. I love watching the smaller channels because I love seeing their thoughts and ideas and perspectives as they grow and evolve. Like I watch your stuff when I have the time for it, but I don't focus. I don't tend to focus on any one channel.
Yeah,
Um,
I love
I'm
smaller
all
channels.
over the
When I
map.
say smaller channels, smaller than me, I don't think I'm that big of a channel. But there's a couple of new people. I have to turn my phone on that have started that I've been following and encouraging. Um, that like I'm their first or second subscriber, and I make a big
Oh
deal.
wow, yeah.
Because when I was first, when I first got my first subscribers, it was really exciting, and it
Oh,
was
those
really
first few.
nice
Yeah.
to have people like comment on some things that I had done. There is one, oh my God, her name, it starts with Rose, I think. Actually, I can go to Instagram real quick. No, no, it's Instagram. She's brand new. Blushing Rose Tarot.
Oh, I've heard of her.
She just started. She has like 3 videos, but her content is beautiful already.
Is she on only Instagram or does she have an
No, no, she
account on
just
YouTube?
started a YouTube channel. She has I
Okay.
think 3 or 4 videos on there.
She sounds so familiar. I'm wondering if there's people that have been around in the community for a while, chit-chatting, being another comment. The name sounds very familiar.
Yeah, if you
I wonder if she's been active in the community for a while.
yeah, but so I don't know. I've never heard of her before. So she might have been somebody that came in, left, and then came back because that's what happened with Donna from No Star Tarot. She left and came back.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I have my go-tos. Kelly Truth and Story when I
Yeah.
when I want like the professor. Lisa Papez when I want to sit in front of a friend and learn something.
Yeah.
Dawn Michelle. I love. There's something I don't know exactly what it is about Dawn's channel that I like, but I just feel comfortable in that space with her.
Yeah. No, she's got a good space.
Yeah. So
Danny Danny Vincent, Danny Mystic, her stuff is pretty is like really good. I like watching her.
I like
But
her.
I talk to these people behind the scenes too,
Yeah.
so I like to focus on what other people are doing as well. But for me, like I said, I don't want to say indiscriminate, but I go by topic.
Yeah.
I
Which which I think is cool.
whatever like somebody who's just somebody who's got a small channel, they were just mentioning their crows in a live stream I was doing. It's like, oh yeah, let's go watch that, right? Like, so I get all over the map on what I'm watching and stuff because I just like to see what everybody's doing. But because I watch so many channels, I can't necessarily go this one person.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
have like 100 and some that I follow.
yeah,
And
yep,
and
same.
the thing that my issues like you with names of decks, I'm horrible with channel names and people names.
Oh, oh
I am
my God.
like notoriously horrible.
No, I am so bad for that all the time, and I remind people regularly. It's like, hey, if I have to check in with who you are, you're gonna have to let me know because I'm gonna get mixed up sooner or later.
Yeah, yeah, so I have several people that I follow. Uh, let's see, people that I like. Boy Driver, I like him, but he hasn't posted in a while. Um, let's see, Christus Chronicles, I watch her quite a bit.
Yeah, she's got some good stuff.
Yeah, I like her. Fairlight Tarot, I really, really like her. So, I mean, I just have a list. I wish there was more men that had channels. There are several, but I would like to have seen more men.
Yeah, I would like to see more of that because whenever a community is skewed too much into just one thing, but like there are a lot of men that do tarot.
Yes,
There's a lot of men that have channels. Um, I think for some reason there's something about tarot that a lot of the guys don't stick with it.
I think part
And
of it is it's like because you really have to really use your intuition. And a lot of men don't really like to tap into emotion and feeling culturally.
yeah,
That's a, that's a
that's the way a
challenge.
lot of men are socialized. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
and
think,
most people do have a day job,
yeah,
so that definitely gets in the way. And yeah, I don't know. I would like to see more men. I would like to see more diversity. Um, but that's like any community, though. No matter what community you're going into, there's always some way to improve it, right?
yeah, yeah,
So, but I think we got a pretty good community going as it is. So that's that part. That part I'm kind of happy about. But yeah, more men, more diversity would be a lot. I think more men. I think we do have a lot. I think we have more diversity than we have men right now. If that makes sense.
no, it does make sense, and I agree with you.
Okay, I'm one half of a gay couple. You know, you're gay. It's like, okay, we've got that covered. Now where are all the straight boys?
Yeah, we have a lot of gay men on tarot, but where are the straight guys? And I know there are some out there. I know there are some out there. I've seen a few.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen some of them, but yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of an interesting thing to think about because I mean, different types of activities tap into different parts of your brain,
Hmm.
and tarot requires a certain level of sensitivity that a lot of men aren't necessarily um
Brought up to accept.
yeah, oh yeah, not even accept. They're not socialized to even
Yeah,
be aware of it.
it's
It's like,
cultural.
oh, big boys don't cry. Like,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. So it's like, is this a nature the nature nurture argument of why stereotypical straight men aren't into tarot? That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a brain tease right there, isn't it?
It's
But
interesting. It'd be a good topic.
it would be a very interesting topic. Mind you, that then again, it would be a really interesting topic, but there's no straight guys to hear it.
Yeah.
That there's a challenge for all you straight men who are socialized to be less intuitive and less emotional and whatever. What drew them into tarot?
That would be interesting.
That would be a really interesting conversation. And I know and maybe it's not very fair to assume that being a gay man automatically puts you in touch with your emotions and all this stuff, because
Oh,
that's
that's
not.
absolutely true. I know a lot of gay men that are totally not tapped in.
They're butch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the stereotype category. Being a butch lesbian is like, oh yeah, you're a lot like a guy, aren't you? Yeah, sometimes.
I straddle the fence. I can be very effeminate at times, and then in other times I could just be this guy. But
Yeah, I'm obviously on that fence. I identify. I don't identify as male or anything like that. I'm very much female identified, but I'm very much in touch with my masculine side.
yeah,
So,
and
but yeah,
very much in touch with my feminine side. So yeah,
yep, yeah. It's kind of interesting. So what happens? So what is it that makes stereotypically straight men, well, just straight guys in general, what makes them less likely to be in tarot? That's
I I
now.
I really do think it deals with intuition and being able to tap into emotions. Um, and because it is a female dominated
Well,
profession.
yeah, it's a female dominated profession, and the interesting thing is that any profession that relies strongly on arts, intuition, stuff like that is women and gay people are overrepresented in the arts and other professions that
Yeah,
rely on that part, that side of the brain. Yeah, now I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be thinking about this one for the rest of the day.
it'd be interesting what people say in the comments about it.
Well, my son is my oldest is a little bit into tarot, and he's a straight heterosexual young man. Maybe I'm going to corner that boy. I'm going to John. Why are you doing this?
Well, Peggy,
Uh,
thank you so much for coming on. I absolutely enjoyed talking to you.
oh,
You
great.
had me laughing. I really, really had a great
Well,
time.
thank you for inviting me. This was fun. I'd be happy
Yeah.
to do it again anytime.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you that as soon as I hit end. But any last words?
No, this was a blast. Thank you for inviting me. I had fun.
Yeah, me too. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Again, my name is Ben,
Bye.
and I am the Fool's Apprentice. Bye, guys.
Bye.